melodic hum that seemed to resonate with the rhythm of the universe. After what felt like both an eternity and a heartbeat, Aliana reached the end of the Starlight Bridge and found herself in a magnificent realm, the Celestial Kingdom. The kingdom was a place of wonders, with castles made of crystal, gardens of eternal twilight, and celestial beings who floated gracefully among the stars. Aliana was greeted by the Celestial Queen, a regal figure with a flowing gown that shimmered like the night sky. "Welcome, Aliana," the queen said with a voice as soothing as moonlight. "You have traveled far and braved the journey across the Starlight Bridge. Our realm has been awaiting someone with a heart as pure as yours." The queen explained that the Celestial Kingdom was facing a great challenge. The Starheart, a powerful crystal that radiated the light and magic of the stars, had lost its glow. Without the Starheart's brilliance, the kingdom's magic would fade, and the connection between the realms would be severed. Aliana listened intently. "How can I help?" she asked. The queen handed Aliana a small, glowing compass. "This compass will guide you to the heart of the nebula, where the Starheart is hidden. But be warned, the journey is fraught with trials. Only someone with true courage and a compassionate heart can restore the Starheart's light." With the compass in hand, Aliana set out on her quest. The heart of the nebula was located in a distant part of the Celestial Kingdom, beyond the Veil of Shadows, a place where darkness and light intertwined. Aliana encountered several challenges along the way, including a labyrinth of shimmering fog and a tempest of cosmic winds. Each time, Aliana used her courage, kindness, and quick thinking to overcome the obstacles. She helped a lost star creature find its way back to its family, solved a riddle given by a wise old comet, and calmed a storm of shooting stars with a soothing melody. Finally, she reached the heart of the nebula, a grand, ancient chamber where the Starheart lay dim and cold. Aliana approached the crystal and placed her hands on its surface. She thought of her village, her grandmother, and the wonder of the stars. With a heartfelt wish, she whispered a prayer for the magic of the Celestial Kingdom to be restored. The Starheart began to glow with a brilliant light, filling the chamber with warmth and radiance. The light spread throughout the Celestial Kingdom, restoring its beauty and magic. The queen and the celestial beings rejoiced, and the Starlight Bridge shimmered more brightly than ever. "You have done a great service to our realm, Aliana," the queen said, her eyes filled with gratitude. "As a token of our thanks, we gift you a starstone. This gem will allow you to summon the Starlight Bridge whenever you wish to visit our world." With the starstone in hand, Aliana returned to Eldoria, her heart brimming with joy. The villagers marveled at her story, and the stars seemed to shine even more brightly in the sky. From that day on, Aliana often visited the Celestial Kingdom, her connection with the stars growing ever stronger. She shared her tales of adventure and magic with the villagers, inspiring them to look up at the night sky with wonder and dreams of their own. And so, the bond between Eldoria and the Celestial Kingdom remained strong, a reminder of the magic that exists when we follow our hearts and believe in the wonder of the stars.
Once upon a time, in a quaint village surrounded by rolling hills and sparkling streams, there was a little shop known as the Enchanted Clockmaker. This shop, owned by a gentle and wise clockmaker named Oliver, was renowned for its magical clocks. Each clock had the power to grant one special wish to the person who understood its true purpose. Oliver had inherited the shop from his grandfather and had always maintained its magic with great care. The most remarkable clock in the shop was the Grand Timekeeper, a magnificent timepiece with intricate carvings of stars and moons, and a crystal-clear face that seemed to hold the secrets of time itself. The village loved Oliver and his clocks, but none had ever been bold enough to make a wish on the Grand Timekeeper. That is, until a young girl named Lily came into the shop. The mysterious visitor Lily was a kind-hearted girl with a bright smile and a curious mind. She had heard stories of Oliver's magical clocks and was fascinated by them.
Her family was poor, and her only wish was to bring happiness and comfort to her ailing mother. One chilly autumn afternoon, Lily entered the Enchanted Clockmaker, her eyes wide with wonder. Oliver greeted her with a warm smile. "Welcome, Lily. What brings you to my shop today?" "I've heard about your magical clocks," Lily said hesitantly. I've come to see if one of them can help my mother." Oliver's eyes softened as he listened to Lily's story. "The Grand Timekeeper is a special clock," he said gently. "It can grant one wish, but it requires a heart that truly understands its magic. If you're ready, you may try." The test of the Grand Timekeeper. Oliver led Lily to the Grand Timekeeper, its face glowing softly. "To make your wish, you must first learn the secret of the clock," he explained. "There is a hidden mechanism that only reveals itself to those who approach with a pure heart." Lily examined the clock closely, her fingers tracing the intricate designs. She noticed a small, hidden keyhole on the side of the clock that was not immediately visible. Next to it was a tiny inscription that read, "What is given freely with love is never lost." Lily thought about this inscription and realized that the clock's magic must be linked to love and selflessness. With this understanding, she placed her hand on the clock and whispered her wish, "I wish for my mother to be well and happy." The secret revealed as Lily spoke her wish, the Grand Timekeeper began to glow brighter. The clock's hands moved slowly, aligning with the inscription's words. A soft chime echoed through the shop, and the hidden mechanism of the clock clicked open, revealing a delicate golden key. Oliver looked at Lily with admiration. "You found the secret of the Grand Timekeeper," he said. "Your heart is pure, and your wish is sincere." A magical transformation. The moment Lily took the golden key, a warm, golden light enveloped her. She felt a gentle breeze as if the clock's magic was reaching out to touch her. Oliver handed her a small, ornate box that had appeared alongside the golden key. "Open this box when you're ready," Oliver advised. "It will help you with your wish." Lily thanked Oliver and hurried back to her home, her heart full of hope. When she arrived, she found her mother resting in bed, looking weak and tired. Lily opened the ornate box, and inside was a small vial of shimmering liquid and a note that read, "For healing and happiness." With trembling hands, Lily gave her mother a few drops of the liquid. The effect was immediate. Her mother's color returned, and her strength seemed to be renewed. The entire house was filled with a warm, comforting light. Lily's mother sat up, looking healthier and happier than she had in months. The celebration word of the miracle spread quickly through the village, and soon everyone gathered at Lily's home to celebrate. They marveled at the healing and praised Lily's bravery and kindness. Oliver was also there, watching with a proud smile. Lily's family, once struggling, was now filled with joy and gratitude. The village came together to support them, and soon their lives improved in many ways. The magic of the Grand Timekeeper had not only healed Lily's mother but also brought the community closer together. The legacy of the Grand Timekeeper. As time passed, the story of Lily and the Grand Timekeeper became a cherished tale in the village. The enchanted clock continued to stand in Oliver's shop, a symbol of hope and the power of love and selflessness. Oliver eventually retired, passing on the shop and the Grand Timekeeper to a new generation of clockmakers, but the magic of the clock lived on. It continued to remind everyone that the greatest wishes come from the heart and that true magic is found in acts of love and kindness. And so, the village thrived with happiness and prosperity, and the legend of the Grand Timekeeper was told for generations, a testament to the enduring power of a pure heart. The end. Once upon a time, in a realm filled with lush meadows and sparkling rivers, there was a beautiful kingdom called Eldoria. The kingdom was ruled by a wise and kind queen named Seraphina and her daughter, Princess Eloan. Princess Eloan was known for her bravery, kindness, and adventurous spirit. Despite the kingdom's prosperity, she was always curious about the mysterious enchanted forest that lay beyond the castle walls. The enchanted forest was a place of wonder and magic, but also of great danger. It was said that the forest was home to magical creatures, enchanted beings, and a hidden treasure of immense power. The forest was guarded by an ancient spell that only a true-hearted soul could break. Princess Eloan, determined to prove her bravery and discover the secrets of the forest, decided to embark on a quest. One morning, as the first light of dawn filtered through the castle windows, Princess Eloan packed a small satchel with essentials: water, food, a map, and a lantern. She bade farewell to her mother. who gave her a locket for protection and a heartfelt blessing. As Princess Aloan entered the enchanted forest, she was greeted by the soft rustle of leaves and the song of unseen birds. The forest was alive with vibrant colors and magical energy. However, as she ventured deeper, the path became more treacherous. The trees seemed to whisper and shift, and shadows danced around her. Her first challenge came in the form of a giant talking spider named Arachne. Arachne spun a web across the path, blocking her way. "To pass, you must answer my riddle," Arachne declared. The riddle was, "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Princess Aloan pondered the riddle and realized the answer was an echo. She answered confidently, and Arachne, impressed by her wisdom, allowed her to pass, warning her of the dangers ahead. As she continued her journey, Princess Aloan encountered a shimmering pond guarded by a wise old frog named Silvio. Silvio told her that the next challenge required a test of kindness. "In the pond lives a magical fish that has lost its way," Silvio explained. "To proceed, you must help it find its way back to its home in the heart of the forest." Princess Aloan spotted the magical fish, which was struggling to find its way. Using her gentle touch and a few kind words, she guided the fish through the pond's waters to a hidden spring. The fish, grateful for her help, granted her a charm that would protect her from harm. With the charm in hand, Princess Aloan ventured deeper into the forest, where the trees grew denser and the air colder. She arrived at a clearing with an ancient stone archway. The archway was inscribed with a spell that required a test of courage. A shadowy figure emerged from the archway, a fearsome guardian known as the Shadow Beast. The beast roared, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. It challenged Princess Aloan to face her deepest fears. Princess Aloan stood tall, despite her trembling heart. She remembered the love and support from her mother and the creatures she had helped along the way. With a deep breath, she confronted the Shadow Beast and spoke of her hopes for peace and harmony in the kingdom. Her bravery and sincerity dispelled the beast's shadowy form, revealing a path to the heart of the forest. As she walked through the archway, Princess Aloan entered a hidden grove bathed in a soft, golden light. In the center of the grove was a majestic tree with leaves of silver and branches that reached towards the sky. At the base of the tree was a beautifully crafted chest. The chest was locked with a magical seal. Princess Aloan noticed a series of symbols on the lock that matched the ones on the locket her mother had given her. She carefully placed the locket near the lock, and the symbols began to glow. The chest opened with a soft click, revealing a dazzling treasure, an ancient book of spells and a crown of light. The book contained powerful knowledge that could restore balance and bring prosperity to Eldoria. The crown, when worn, had the power to unite the kingdom's people and harness the magic of the forest. With the treasure in hand, Princess Aloan made her way back to the castle. Her mother, Queen Seraphina, was overjoyed to see her safe and successful. The magical book was used to improve the kingdom's harvests, heal the land, and strengthen the bonds between the people. The crown of light was placed in the royal vault as a symbol of unity and hope. Princess Aloan's bravery and kindness became legendary throughout Eldoria. The enchanted forest was no longer seen as a place of danger but as a source of wonder and magic. The kingdom thrived, and the bond between the people and the forest grew stronger. And so, Princess Aloan's adventure was remembered as a tale of courage, kindness, and the magic that exists in every heart. Eldoria flourished, and the enchanted forest continued to be a place where dreams and reality intertwined, guided by the brave and kind-hearted princess who dared to seek its secrets. The end. Once upon a time, in a land of eternal twilight, there was a hidden glen known as Luminera. Luminera was a magical forest where fireflies danced in the dusky light and flowers glowed softly under the moon's gaze. This enchanted place was ruled by the Firefly Queen, a luminous and graceful being named Alara. She was tasked with ensuring the balance of light and dark in the forest, and her most precious duty was to protect the Midnight Blossom, a rare flower that only bloomed once every 100 years under the full moon. The Midnight Blossom was said to possess extraordinary powers. It could bring peace to troubled hearts, heal the gravest of ailments, and even grant a single wish to those who truly needed it. Elara guarded the blossom with great care, knowing that its magic could be both wondrous and perilous if misused. One evening, as the full moon approached, Elara prepared for the blossom's rare bloom. She lit lanterns of stardust, arranged the petals of protective flowers around the midnight blossom, and summoned the forest creatures to keep watch. But as the night grew deeper, a strange shadow fell over Luminera. A dark figure emerged from the trees, a sorcerer named Morven, whose heart was consumed by greed and envy. Morven had heard of the Midnight Blossom's powers and desired it for himself. His goal was to use the flower's magic to control the entire forest and bend it to his will. As the moonlight reached its peak, Morven stealthily approached the blossom, intent on stealing it. Elara sensed the disturbance and, with a flicker of worry in her heart, turned to her loyal fireflies. "We must protect the Midnight Blossom. I fear a great danger approaches." The fireflies, glowing brighter in their determination, formed a protective barrier around the blossom. Morven, however, was cunning and used his dark magic to create illusions that distracted the fireflies and the forest creatures. He moved closer, his fingers reaching for the precious flower. But as Morven was about to grasp the Midnight Blossom, a young girl named Lyra stumbled into the clearing. Lyra was a humble village girl who had wandered into the forest searching for her lost cat. She had no idea of the magical struggle occurring around her. Her innocent presence, however, was about to turn the tide. Lyra's cat, a clever creature named Pip, had followed her into the forest and saw the danger. Pip meowed loudly and darted toward the fireflies, guiding Lyra to the glowing scene. Lyra, realizing the gravity of the situation, felt a surge of courage. She saw the sorcerer's dark intentions and knew she had to help. With a determined heart, Lyra approached Morven and spoke bravely, "You cannot take what does not belong to you. The Midnight Blossom is meant to heal and bring hope, not to control." Morven sneered and tried to push her aside with a wave of his hand, but Lyra stood her ground. "Please, listen. If you truly need something, perhaps there is another way." Elara, observing Lyra's bravery and pure heart, saw a chance to stop Morven without conflict. She fluttered to Lyra and whispered, "You have shown great courage and kindness. If you wish, you may use the Midnight Blossom's magic to help him instead." Lyra, though frightened, nodded. "If there is a way to change his heart and help him find peace, then I will use it." Elara guided Lyra to the Midnight Blossom and instructed her to make a sincere wish for Morven's redemption. Lyra closed her eyes and whispered softly, "I wish for Morven to find the peace he seeks and to use his powers for good." As Lyra spoke, the Midnight Blossom's petals opened wide, releasing a soft, golden light. The light enveloped Morven, and he felt a profound sense of calm and clarity. The darkness in his heart began to dissolve, and he was overwhelmed with remorse for his actions. Morven fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "I have been blinded by my own greed. I see now that true power lies in compassion and kindness. Forgive me." Elara, seeing the change in Morven, approached him. "You have been given a chance to change. Use it wisely." Morven stood up, humbled and transformed. He vowed to help protect Luminera and use his magic for the benefit of others. The forest creatures, fireflies, and Elara welcomed him into their fold, and together, they worked to restore harmony to the forest. Lyra, with Pip safely by her side, was celebrated as a hero in Luminera. The Midnight Blossom's magic continued to shine brightly, bringing peace and healing to all who needed it. Elara and the fireflies continued to guard the blossom, ensuring its magic was used for good. And so, the Forest of Whispers thrived, filled with light, hope, and the promise of new beginnings. The tale of the Firefly Queen, the Midnight Blossom, and the brave girl who saved the forest became a cherished story, passed down through generations as a reminder of the power of courage, kindness, and the magic of a pure heart. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by tall mountains and deep forests, lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known throughout the village for her kindness and the beautiful songs she sang. Her voice was so sweet that even the birds would stop chirping to listen to her. Every morning, Alara would sing as she helped her mother with the chores, and her songs filled the air with joy. One sunny afternoon, as Alara was gathering wildflowers in the meadow, she saw a glimmer of light coming from the edge of the forest. Curious, she followed the light and found a small, clear pond. The light was coming from something lying at the bottom of the pond. Alara reached into the water and pulled out a mirror. It was a small, round mirror with a frame made of gold and decorated with tiny jewels. The mirror shone so brightly in the sunlight that Alara could hardly look at it. As Alara gazed into the mirror, she noticed something strange. Instead of her own reflection, she saw the image of an old woman with kind eyes and a warm smile. Alara gasped and almost dropped the mirror. The old woman in the mirror spoke. "Do not be afraid, dear child," she said. "I am the fairy of the mirror, and I have been trapped in this pond for many years. By finding me, you have broken the spell that kept me here." Alara was amazed. She had never met a fairy before. "How can I help you?" she asked. The fairy of the mirror smiled. "You have already helped me by freeing me from the pond. Now, I wish to grant you a gift as a token of my gratitude. This mirror is magical. It can show you the true nature of any person's heart. If you look into the mirror while thinking of someone, you will see whether their heart is kind and pure or filled with darkness and deceit. Use it wisely, dear Alara, for not everyone is as kind as you." With that, the fairy's image faded, and the mirror showed only Alara's reflection. Alara was overjoyed and thanked the fairy, promising to use the mirror for good. She slipped the mirror into her pocket and hurried back home, her heart light and happy. Days went by, and Alara kept the mirror with her, but she didn't use it. She was content with her simple life in the village, singing and helping her mother. One day, however, a stranger came to the village. He was a tall man with a charming smile, dressed in fine clothes, and riding a beautiful horse. The villagers were impressed by his appearance and welcomed him warmly. He introduced himself as Lord Malvin, a wealthy nobleman from a faraway land. Lord Malvin claimed he was looking for a new place to build his castle, and he promised to bring wealth and prosperity to the village. The villagers were excited and eager to help him, but Alara felt uneasy. There was something about Lord Malvin's smile that made her shiver. That night, as she sat by her window, she remembered the fairy's gift. She decided to use the mirror to see Lord Malvin's true nature. Holding the mirror in her hands, Alara thought of Lord Malvin and looked into the mirror. To her horror, the mirror showed a heart as black as coal, surrounded by thick, dark shadows. In the reflection, Lord Malvin's charming smile turned into a wicked grin, and his eyes glowed with greed. Alara realized that Lord Malvin was not who he seemed to be. He was a deceitful man who only wanted to take advantage of the village and its people. Alara knew she had to warn the villagers, but she wasn't sure if they would believe her. She decided to go to the village elder, a wise woman named Matilda, who had always been kind to her. Alara showed Matilda the mirror and told her what she had seen. Matilda listened carefully and believed Alara's story. Together, they came up with a plan to reveal Lord Malvin's true nature to the villagers. The next morning, Matilda called all the villagers to the village square. She announced that there would be a celebration to welcome Lord Malvin, and everyone was invited. As the villagers gathered, Alara stood quietly at the back, holding the mirror in her hands. When Lord Malvin arrived, smiling and waving to everyone, Matilda stepped forward. "Welcome, Lord Malvin," Matilda said. "We are honored to have you here. As a token of our appreciation, we would like to offer you a gift." She signaled to Alara, who stepped forward and held up the mirror. "This mirror will show us the true nature of your heart," Matilda said. "Please, look into it and let us see." Lord Malvin hesitated for a moment, but then he laughed and said, "Of course, I have nothing to hide." He looked into the mirror, and suddenly, his smile vanished. The villagers gasped as they saw the dark, twisted reflection in the mirror. Lord Malvin's true nature was revealed for all to see. His eyes turned cold, and his face twisted with anger. He tried to snatch the mirror from Alara's hands, but Matilda stepped in front of her, holding up her staff. "Leave this village at once, Lord Malvin," Matilda said firmly. "We know your true intentions. You will not harm our people." Realizing that his deception had been uncovered, Lord Malvin snarled in rage. He turned and fled, riding away from the village and never looking back. The villagers cheered and praised Alara for her bravery and wisdom. They were grateful to her for saving them from Lord Malvin's deceit. From that day on, Alara became known as the guardian of the village. She used the magical mirror to protect her people and to help those in need. The mirror, with its golden frame and jewel-studded edges, became a symbol of truth and kindness. Years passed, and Alara grew up to be a wise and beloved woman, always singing her sweet psalms and bringing joy to the village. The tale of the magical mirror was told for generations, reminding everyone that true beauty comes from within and that a kind heart is the most valuable treasure of all. And so, the village thrived in peace and happiness, thanks to the courage of a young girl who dared to see the truth and stand up for what was right. And the magical mirror remained a cherished heirloom, passed down through the generations, always ready to reveal the true nature of the heart. The end. Once upon a time, in the peaceful kingdom of Etheria, there lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra was known for her curiosity and her fascination with the stars. Every night, she would gaze up at the sky, dreaming of adventures among the constellations. One evening, as Lyra was stargazing from her bedroom window, she noticed a new star twinkling brightly. It was different from all the others, shining with a gentle, pulsating light. Her grandmother had told her stories of a magical artifact called the Starry Compass, said to grant the bearer the ability to navigate the stars and uncover hidden wonders. Lyra decided to seek out this compass, hoping it might lead her to an adventure beyond her wildest dreams. The next morning, she packed a small satchel with essentials and set off towards the Whispering Woods, where legend spoke of a hidden entrance to the realm of the stars. The woods were dense and mysterious, with tall trees that seemed to whisper secrets in the wind. As Lyra ventured deeper, she encountered a friendly fox with shimmering fur. "Greetings, young traveler," said the fox. "I've heard you seek the Starry Compass. To find it, you must pass 3 trials that test your heart, your mind, and your spirit." Lyra nodded, ready for the challenge. The fox led her to a grand, ancient oak tree with a door carved into its trunk. The first trial awaited her inside. Trial of the heart. Inside the oak tree was a serene glade with a small pond. At the center of the pond floated a golden lily. The voice of the tree spoke, "To pass this trial, you must take the lily from the water. But beware, it represents the purity of your heart." Lyra carefully reached for the lily, her heart full of determination. As she touched it, the pond shimmered with a warm, golden light, and the lily was safely in her hands. The voice congratulated her for her pure heart and guided her to the next trial. Trial of the mind. The second trial was a labyrinth of sparkling crystal walls. The walls seemed to shift and change, making the path appear endless. At the center of the labyrinth stood a wise old owl perched on a pedestal. "To find your way through this labyrinth, you must solve this riddle," the owl said. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Lyra pondered the riddle and thought of the sound she heard in the labyrinth. "An echo," she answered confidently. The owl nodded in approval, and the crystal walls parted, revealing the path to the final trial. Trial of the spirit. The final trial led Lyra to a moonlit clearing where a small, ancient temple stood. At the entrance, a shimmering spirit awaited her. The spirit spoke, "To pass this trial, you must show bravery and selflessness. Inside the temple lies a treasure, but you must choose between it and a vision of your greatest wish." Lyra entered the temple and found a magnificent chest filled with jewels and gold. Next to it, a magical mirror showed her the night sky filled with constellations. She saw a vision of herself as a famous explorer, traveling among the stars. After a moment of reflection, Lyra chose to leave the treasure behind. She realized that her true wish was to explore the stars and bring back stories to inspire others, not to seek wealth. The spirit smiled, and the temple's ceiling opened up to reveal a constellation map. The starry compass, glowing softly, descended from the sky and landed gently in Lyra's hands. The spirit's voice echoed, "You have passed all trials with honor. The starry compass is yours to guide you on your journey among the stars." Lyra thanked the spirit and, with the compass in hand, returned to the Whispering Woods. The compass illuminated the path back to her village with a magical glow. Upon her return to Etheria, Lyra became known for her incredible adventures. She used the starry compass to explore the night sky, discovering new constellations and celestial wonders. Her tales of starlit adventures inspired the people of Etheria, and she shared her stories with anyone who wished to listen. The magical compass remained a symbol of bravery, wisdom, and the boundless possibilities of the universe. And every night, as Lyra gazed up at the stars, she knew that her journey had only just begun, with the starry compass guiding her through the mysteries of the cosmos. And so, in the kingdom of Etheria, the stars shone a little brighter, and the dreams of adventure and discovery lived on, carried by the heart of a young girl who dared to reach for the stars. In the light of the starry compass, the kingdom learned that the true adventure lies in following one's dreams with courage, wisdom, and a heart full of wonder. Once upon a time, in a hidden valley surrounded by misty mountains, there was a small village called Glenwood. Glenwood was a place of serene beauty, known for its lush meadows and sparkling streams. At the edge of the village, nestled in a grove of ancient trees, lay a mysterious pool known as the Starlit Pool. Legend had it that the pool was enchanted, reflecting the stars even in the brightest daylight and holding the power to grant a single wish to someone pure of heart. The villagers often spoke of the Starlit Pool in hushed tones, and many believed it was simply a myth. Yet, every year during the harvest festival, the village children would gather by the pool and gaze into its shimmering waters, hoping to catch a glimpse of its magic. Among the villagers was a young boy named Finn, who had a boundless curiosity and a heart full of dreams. Finn had heard the tales of the Starlit Pool since he was a child, and he longed to discover if the legends were true. As the harvest festival approached, Finn decided to embark on a quest to find the secret of the Starlit Pool and uncover its magic. One crisp autumn evening, as the village prepared for the festival, Finn set out toward the grove where the Starlit Pool was said to be. The forest was alive with the colors of fall, and the air was filled with the scent of pine and earth. Finn followed a winding path that led him deeper into the forest, his lantern casting a warm glow through the trees. As Finn approached the Starlit Pool, he noticed something unusual. The water's surface was perfectly still, reflecting the light of the moon like a silver mirror. The pool was surrounded by luminous flowers that glowed gently in the darkness, creating a magical, otherworldly atmosphere. Finn knelt beside the pool and gazed into its depths, hoping to see something extraordinary. To his surprise, he saw not only the reflection of the moon but also a faint, shimmering figure beneath the surface. The figure was a graceful water spirit, whose eyes sparkled with kindness and wisdom. The water spirit spoke softly, her voice like a gentle breeze. "Greetings, Finn. I am Mira, the guardian of the Starlit Pool. The legends you have heard are true, but to unlock the magic of the pool, you must first prove your worth." Finn, both amazed and determined, asked, "How can I prove my worth?" Mira replied, "The pool's magic is guarded by 3 trials, each testing the purity of your heart and the strength of your spirit. Only then will the pool's secret be revealed." With a nod, Finn accepted the challenge. Mira led him to the first trial, the trial of the echoing forest. The forest was filled with trees that echoed every sound, creating confusing reverberations. To pass this trial, Finn had to find a hidden melody amidst the echoes. He closed his eyes and listened intently, letting the echoes guide him. Soon, he began to hum a soft, harmonious tune that resonated with the forest's echoes, leading him to the heart of the trial. The second trial was the trial of the shimmering stones. Finn arrived at a clearing where the ground was covered in dazzling, multicolored stones. To complete the trial, he had to navigate the clearing without touching the stones, as doing so would cause them to lose their light. Using his agility and careful movements, Finn hopped and leaped over the stones, reaching the other side with the stones still glowing brightly. Finally, Mira guided Finn to the last trial, the trial of the heart's desire. Finn found himself in a glade with two paths, one leading through a dense thicket and the other through a meadow filled with beautiful flowers. He was given a choice to make. The dense path represented immediate reward, while the meadow symbolized a greater challenge but a deeper reward. Finn chose the meadow, understanding that true worth was in seeking what was right rather than what was easy. As Finn walked through the meadow, he found a small, hidden grove with an ancient tree at its center. Under the tree was a small, ornate box. Finn opened the box and found a delicate, golden key inside. He returned to the starlit pool and presented the key to Mira. Mira smiled and said, "You have shown great courage and wisdom. The key you hold is the key to the pool's magic. Place it in the water, and you shall reveal its true power." Finn carefully placed the golden key into the pool. The water began to swirl and glow with a radiant light, and the pool's surface transformed into a dazzling display of stars. The magic of the pool enveloped Finn, filling him with a profound sense of peace and joy. Mira's voice echoed softly, "The magic of the starlit pool is not just in granting wishes but in the journey of discovering one's true self. You have proven that you have a heart full of wonder and kindness." Finn returned to Glenwood with a renewed spirit and a heart full of gratitude. The villagers were amazed by his story, and the legend of the starlit pool became more cherished than ever. Finn's adventure reminded them all that the true magic of the pool was in the journey and the virtues it revealed. And so, in the village of Glenwood, where the nights were always bright with the stars' reflection and the magic of the starlit pool, the story of Finn's quest lived on as a testament to the power of courage, wisdom, and the pure heart of a dreamer. The magic of Willow's Grove. Once upon a time, in a land of rolling hills and blooming meadows, there was a small village nestled beside an ancient forest. In this village lived a curious boy named Oliver. Oliver loved exploring and had a special fascination with the old stories and legends of his village, especially the tale of Willow's Grove. According to the legend, Willow's Grove was a hidden part of the forest where the trees were enchanted and had the power to grant wishes. However, the entrance to this magical grove was hidden and could only be found by someone who truly believed in magic and had a pure heart. One bright autumn morning, Oliver decided to search for Willow's Grove. He packed a small satchel with food, a map, and his trusty compass, then set off into the forest. The trees were ablaze with colors of red and gold, and the air was filled with the scent of fallen leaves. As Oliver ventured deeper into the forest, he came across an old, gnarled oak tree with a large hollow at its base. Curious, he peered inside and found a small, intricately carved wooden box. Inside the box was a note that read, "To find Willow's Grove, follow the whispers of the trees and listen to the songs of the birds." Determined, Oliver continued his journey, keeping his ears open for any whispers and songs. The forest was alive with the chatter of birds and the rustling of leaves, but he focused on the sounds that seemed to guide him forward. After walking for hours, Oliver came to a clearing where a circle of ancient, majestic trees stood. They were unlike any trees he had seen before, with silver leaves that shimmered in the sunlight. As he approached, he noticed a gentle, melodious hum emanating from the trees. It was as if they were singing a soft, harmonious tune. Oliver took a deep breath and closed his eyes, allowing the music of the trees to fill his senses. As he listened, the hum seemed to form words, "Welcome, seeker of magic. The path to Willow's Grove lies before you." With renewed hope, Oliver followed the melody, which seemed to grow stronger as he walked. The ground beneath him began to glow with a faint, golden light, and he soon found himself at the edge of a hidden glade. In the center of the glade stood an enormous willow tree with branches that cascaded to the ground like a shimmering curtain. The willow tree's bark was adorned with delicate, glowing runes, and its leaves sparkled like stars. Oliver approached the tree with reverence, feeling a sense of awe and wonder. As he reached out to touch the bark, the runes began to glow brighter, and a soft, melodious voice spoke. "Welcome, Oliver. You have found Willow's Grove, a place where wishes are woven into the fabric of dreams." What is it that you seek? Oliver hesitated for a moment, then spoke from his heart. I wish to bring joy and prosperity to my village. We have been facing hardships, and I want to help them find happiness and abundance. The willow tree's branches swayed gently, and the air filled with a warm, golden light. Your wish comes from a pure heart, the voice said. To fulfill it, you must make a gift of your own. Place a small token of your village's love at the base of the tree, and the magic of Willow's Grove will begin to work. Oliver thought for a moment and then took out a small, handcrafted wooden charm from his satchel. It was a simple heart-shaped pendant, intricately carved and painted with vibrant colors. He had made it himself, and it symbolized the love and unity of his village. With a sense of gratitude, Oliver placed the charm at the base of the willow tree. As soon as he did, the ground began to shimmer, and a gentle breeze carried the charm away, as if it were being lifted by an invisible hand. The golden light from the tree enveloped the entire glade, and Oliver felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. Your gift has been accepted, the voice said. Return to your village, and you will find that the magic of Willow's Grove has already begun to work. Oliver made his way back to the village, his heart light and hopeful. As he approached, he was amazed to see the once barren fields now lush and green. The villagers were busy harvesting a bountiful crop, and the air was filled with laughter and joy. It was as if the land itself had been transformed, bringing prosperity and happiness to everyone. The villagers greeted Oliver with cheers and gratitude, and he shared the story of his journey and the magic of Willow's Grove. They celebrated with a grand feast, and Oliver's wish for joy and abundance had come true. From that day on, the village thrived, and the legend of Willow's Grove lived on as a symbol of hope and magic. The villagers continued to honor the grove and the enchanting willow tree that had helped them in their time of need. And so, Oliver's adventure became a cherished tale, reminding everyone that true magic lies not only in enchanted places but also in the love, unity, and selflessness of the heart. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a far-off land nestled between towering mountains and shimmering lakes, there was a forgotten kingdom known as Eloria. This kingdom was renowned for its breathtaking beauty and magical wonders, but it had mysteriously vanished from the maps and memories of the world. Only the ancient tales whispered of its existence. In a quaint village at the edge of the mountains lived a young boy named Finn. Finn was known for his adventurous spirit and curious nature. He spent his days exploring the woods and dreaming of discovering hidden places. One day, while playing near a mysterious old oak tree, Finn stumbled upon an ancient, ornate key buried in the soil. The key was adorned with intricate symbols and glowed faintly in the sunlight. Finn's grandmother, who was a keeper of old stories, recognized the key immediately. This is the key of Eloria, she said with awe. Legend says that this key can unlock the gateway to the Lost Kingdom. But beware, for the journey to Eloria is filled with challenges and trials. Excited by the possibility of discovering the Lost Kingdom, Finn decided to embark on a quest to find Eloria. He packed a small bag with essentials, a map, a compass, a lantern, and a few provisions, and set off toward the mountains. The journey was arduous. Finn climbed steep paths, crossed babbling brooks, and navigated through thick forests. Along the way, he encountered various magical creatures, a wise old owl, a mischievous fox, and a gentle deer, each offering him cryptic clues and guidance. After days of travel, Finn reached a hidden cave at the base of the mountains. The cave's entrance was marked by ancient runes that matched the symbols on the key. With a deep breath, Finn inserted the key into a lock embedded in the cave's wall. The key turned with a soft click, and a hidden door slowly creaked open, revealing a passageway bathed in a soft, golden light. As Finn entered the passageway, he felt a sense of wonder and excitement. The path led him through a series of chambers, each filled with puzzles and challenges. The first chamber was a vast hall with shimmering walls and a floating bridge. At the other end of the bridge was a pedestal with an ancient riddle inscribed on it: I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I? Finn thought carefully and realized the answer was map. He spoke the answer aloud, and the bridge stabilized, allowing him to cross safely. In the second chamber, Finn encountered a labyrinth of mirrors. The mirrors created countless reflections and illusions, making it difficult to find the right path. Remembering the advice of the creatures he had met, Finn focused on his inner compass and followed the guidance of his heart, finding the true path through the maze. The final chamber was a serene garden with a beautiful, but sorrowful, unicorn standing by a crystal-clear pond. The unicorn explained that the garden had lost its magic and could not restore Eloria's beauty without a special flower known as the Lumina Blossom. The Lumina Blossom grows deep within the enchanted forest, the unicorn said. It is guarded by a fearsome creature and can only be obtained by someone with a pure heart and unwavering courage. Determined to help the unicorn and complete his quest, Finn ventured into the enchanted forest. The forest was dark and mysterious, filled with winding paths and whispering trees. After a challenging journey, he found the Lumina Blossom guarded by a majestic dragon. The dragon, though fearsome, was not evil. It tested Finn's courage and heart by presenting him with various trials: bravery, wisdom, and kindness. Finn faced each trial with determination and compassion, proving his worthiness. Moved by Finn's bravery and kindness, the dragon allowed him to take the Lumina Blossom. Finn carefully made his way back to the garden and presented the flower to the unicorn. The unicorn used the flower's magic to restore the garden's beauty and revive the enchantment of Eloria. As the garden bloomed with vibrant colors and magic, the hidden kingdom of Eloria began to reappear. The kingdom was more magnificent than Finn had ever imagined. With sparkling towers, lush gardens, and a shimmering lake. The people of Eloria welcomed Finn with open arms, celebrating his bravery and kindness. Finn's adventure became a legend in the village, inspiring others to believe in the magic of courage and the power of a pure heart. The enchanted kingdom of Eloria, once lost, was now found and remembered, thanks to the heroic journey of a young boy who dared to dream. And so, Finn's story lived on, a reminder that even the greatest of adventures begin with a single step and a heart full of courage. The end. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there was a mysterious garden known only to a few. This garden, called the Time Turner's Garden, was hidden behind an ancient gate covered in ivy and guarded by a gentle, old tortoise named Theo. Theo had been there for as long as anyone could remember, and he was said to know the secrets of time itself. The village had many stories about the garden, but no one knew for sure what lay inside. It was said that anyone who entered would find something they had lost or learn a lesson that would change their life forever. The garden's entrance was rarely seen, and only those who truly needed it could find their way there. In this village lived a young woman named Clara, who was known for her kindness and curiosity. Clara had always been drawn to stories of adventure and magic. Despite her gentle nature, she was deeply troubled by one thing: she had lost her beloved grandmother's locket, a family heirloom passed down through generations. The locket was more than just jewelry, it was a symbol of her family's love and history. Clara had searched everywhere for it, but it had vanished without a trace. One cool autumn morning, Clara decided to seek out the Time Turner's Garden, hoping that perhaps it might help her find what she had lost. Armed with hope and determination, she followed a narrow, winding path that led her to a thick, ancient hedge covered in fragrant roses. As she pushed through the hedge, she found herself in front of the ivy-covered gate guarded by Theo. Theo looked up with wise, knowing eyes. "What brings you to the Time Turner's Garden, dear?" he asked in a slow, deliberate voice. "I've lost something very dear to me," Clara replied, her voice tinged with sadness. "It's a locket that belonged to my grandmother. I'm hoping this garden can help me find it." Theo's eyes softened with understanding. The garden holds many secrets, but it reveals them only to those with a true heart. If you seek your locket, you must first seek what lies within yourself. With a nod, Clara stepped through the gate, which creaked open to reveal a garden filled with vibrant, otherworldly flowers and shimmering pathways. The air was fragrant with the scent of blooming roses and the soft hum of enchanted bees. As Clara wandered through the garden, she noticed a small, shimmering pond at the center. By the pond was a stone bench with an inscription that read, "Find what you seek by following your heart's true path." Clara sat on the bench, reflecting on her grandmother's teachings and the memories she cherished. She closed her eyes and thought deeply about the locket, recalling every moment she had shared with her grandmother. The warmth of those memories filled her heart, and she felt a sense of peace. Suddenly, a soft, melodic voice spoke from behind her. "To find what you have lost, you must first find what you have gained." Clara turned to see a delicate fairy with iridescent wings standing before her. "What do you mean?" Clara asked. The fairy smiled kindly. "Sometimes, the things we seek are not lost but hidden within us. The locket symbolizes your connection to your grandmother and the love she gave you. To find it, you must remember what her love has taught you and how it has shaped who you are." With newfound clarity, Clara walked through the garden, letting her heart guide her. She passed through meadows of golden flowers, over bridges made of moonlight, and beneath archways of glowing vines. Each step seemed to bring her closer to understanding the true value of her grandmother's teachings. Eventually, Clara came to a secluded glade where a single, ancient tree stood. Its branches were adorned with twinkling lights that seemed to respond to her presence. Clara approached the tree and saw a small, glowing box nestled among its roots. The box was decorated with intricate patterns that matched the designs on her grandmother's locket. With trembling hands, Clara opened the box and found the locket inside, glowing with a soft, golden light. It was just as she remembered, and a rush of happiness filled her heart. As Clara held the locket, the fairy appeared once more. "You have found what you sought because you understood its true meaning. The love and memories you have cherished are as precious as the locket itself." Clara thanked the fairy and made her way back to the gate, carrying the locket with her. As she stepped through the gate, it closed gently behind her, and Theo gave her a nod of approval. Returning to her village, Clara felt a renewed sense of connection to her grandmother and her family's legacy. She shared her experience with the villagers, telling them about the garden and the lessons she had learned. The Time Turner's Garden became a symbol of hope and self-discovery for many, and Clara's story inspired others to seek what lay hidden within themselves. And so, the Time Turner's Garden continued to thrive, a magical place where those with true hearts could find the wisdom they sought and uncover the hidden treasures within their own lives. Once upon a time, in a land where the sky was always painted in hues of twilight, there was a hidden kingdom called Lunaria. Lunaria was a wondrous place, where the moon's light bathed the land in a silvery glow, and every night was filled with gentle luminescence. The kingdom was ruled by Queen Selene, a wise and kind ruler who was known for her beauty and her deep connection with the moon. In the heart of Lunaria stood the Moonlit Palace, an elegant castle made of moonstone and silver, where the queen lived with her daughter, Princess Lyra. Lyra was a curious and adventurous young girl who loved exploring the enchanted forests and shimmering lakes of Lunaria. Though she cherished her home, she longed to discover the secrets of the world beyond the kingdom's borders. One evening, as the moon hung low and full in the sky, a mysterious figure appeared in the palace garden. It was a wandering minstrel named Elian, who had come from a distant land. Elian was known for his beautiful music and tales of faraway lands. He sang a song about a magical flower that bloomed only once every 100 years, known as the Midnight Blossom. According to legend, the Midnight Blossom had the power to grant one true wish to anyone who found it. Princess Lyra was enchanted by Elian's tale and decided that she wanted to find the Midnight Blossom and make a wish for the people of Lunaria to have everlasting happiness. With her mother's blessing, she set off on a journey with Elian, who agreed to be her guide. The journey took them through the Silver Forest, a dense woodland filled with towering trees whose leaves sparkled like stars. The forest was known for its enchantments and illusions. As they ventured deeper, the path seemed to twist and turn, and strange creatures of light and shadow danced around them. Their first challenge was a labyrinth of mirrors. Each mirror showed a different reflection, making it difficult to find the true path. Elian, with his musical skills, played a melody that calmed the reflections, allowing them to find their way through the labyrinth. The enchanted lake beyond the forest lay the enchanted lake, a vast body of shimmering water. To cross the lake, They needed to use the moonlit boats that only appeared at night. As they waited for the boats, they encountered a kindly water nymph named Maris, who was guarding the lake. Maris explained that they could only cross if they solved a riddle. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I? Lyra thought for a moment and answered, fire. Maris smiled and granted them passage. They boarded a moonlit boat and sailed across the lake, the water glowing under the moon's soft light. The Mountain of Echoes on the other side of the lake, they reached the base of the Mountain of Echoes, a towering peak shrouded in mist. The midnight blossom was said to grow on the mountain's highest peak. The climb was steep and treacherous, and the air was thin and cold. As they climbed, they were confronted by a fierce storm of winds and ice. The storm was the work of a jealous spirit who didn't want anyone to find the midnight blossom. Elian's music had the power to soothe the storm, and with Lyra's courage, they pressed on through the tempest. The midnight blossom finally, they reached the summit, where the midnight blossom was said to bloom. The flower glowed with an ethereal light, its petals shimmering like silver. However, the flower was guarded by a wise old dragon named Draconis. Draconis tested Lyra's heart with a series of questions about her intentions. He wanted to ensure that her wish was selfless and pure. Lyra spoke from the heart, expressing her desire to bring happiness to her people and to share the joy she had found on her journey. Moved by her sincerity, Draconis allowed her to take the midnight blossom. Lyra made her wish for the eternal happiness of her people, and as she did, a radiant light spread across the land of Lunaria. The magic of the midnight blossom enhanced the moon's glow, filling the kingdom with a new, everlasting brilliance. The return to Lunaria. Lyra and Elian returned to Lunaria, greeted by the joyous celebration of the people. The kingdom's happiness was palpable, and the moonlight seemed even more magical than before. Queen Selene praised her daughter's bravery and kindness. Elian decided to stay in Lunaria, enchanted by the beauty of the kingdom and the warmth of its people. He became a beloved figure, sharing stories and songs that kept the magic of the midnight blossom alive in the hearts of the people. And so, the tale of Princess Lyra and her quest for the midnight blossom became a cherished legend in Lunaria. The kingdom thrived under the everlasting moonlight, a symbol of the joy that comes from a selfless heart and the magic of a wish fulfilled. The end. Once upon a time, in the heart of a vast kingdom where meadows stretched as far as the eye could see, there was a hidden village named Starbrook. This village was renowned for its beauty, particularly its garden, which was said to bloom only under the light of the full moon. The garden was filled with flowers of every color, their petals glowing softly in the moonlight. In Starbrook lived a kind and curious girl named Ivy. Ivy was known for her love of nature and her fascination with the magical garden. She often wondered about the origin of the garden's enchantment. The villagers spoke in hushed tones about the garden's mysterious past, and Ivy's curiosity only grew stronger. One evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, casting its silver glow over Starbrook, Ivy decided it was time to uncover the truth. She slipped out of her cozy cottage and made her way to the garden, which was bathed in the soft, ethereal light of the moon. As she wandered through the moonlit flowers, Ivy noticed a path she had never seen before. It was lined with delicate, glowing stones that seemed to lead deeper into the garden. With a sense of wonder, she followed the path until she reached a secluded corner of the garden where an ancient, gnarled tree stood. The tree was unlike any Ivy had seen before. Its branches were twisted into intricate shapes, and its leaves shimmered like silver. At the base of the tree was a small, ornate door, barely noticeable among the roots and undergrowth. Ivy's heart raced with excitement. Could this be the key to the garden's mystery? With a gentle push, Ivy opened the door. It creaked softly and revealed a narrow staircase leading down into the earth. Taking a deep breath, she descended the steps, her footsteps echoing in the quiet darkness. At the bottom, she found herself in a hidden chamber illuminated by the soft, golden light of dozens of glowing lanterns. In the center of the chamber was an elegant table covered with old, dusty books and scrolls. Atop the table lay a magnificent, silver pendant in the shape of a crescent moon. Ivy reached out and touched the pendant, and as she did, a soft voice filled the room. "Welcome, Ivy. I have been expecting you," said the voice, which belonged to a graceful figure emerging from the shadows. It was a beautiful fairy with wings that sparkled like the night sky. "I am Luna, the guardian of the moonlit garden. Long ago, this garden was blessed by the moon goddess to protect a powerful secret. The pendant you see before you is the key to unlocking that secret." Ivy's eyes widened in awe. "What secret does the garden hold?" Luna smiled warmly. The garden's enchantment was created to protect a magical artifact known as the Heart of the Moon. It has the power to bring harmony and balance to the world. However, the heart has been hidden for centuries to keep it safe from those who might use its power for mischief. Luna handed Ivy the pendant. The Heart of the Moon is hidden in a place where light and shadow meet. Only one with a pure heart and unwavering courage can find it. With this pendant, you have the power to uncover its location. Ivy accepted the pendant, feeling its warmth and energy. "How will I know where to look?" "The pendant will guide you," Luna explained. "It responds to the moonlight and will lead you to the heart. Follow its light, and trust in your heart's guidance." With a grateful nod, Ivy left the chamber and ascended the staircase. The pendant glowed softly around her neck, guiding her through the garden's winding paths. As she walked, she noticed that the pendant's light grew brighter and more focused. Following the pendant's glow, Ivy reached a secluded grove where the moonlight streamed down through the branches in a perfect, silver beam. At the center of the grove stood a large, ancient stone with an inscription. Ivy read the inscription aloud, which revealed a riddle: "To find the heart of the moon, you must seek where light and shadow dance in tune. Where the moon's touch is gentle and kind, there the heart's true light you'll find." Ivy looked around and noticed that the moonlight created a shimmering pattern on the ground where the light and shadows intertwined. She carefully stepped onto the illuminated area, and the stone began to shift, revealing a hidden compartment beneath it. Inside the compartment lay a stunning, crystal-clear orb that seemed to pulse with a soft, silver light. Ivy carefully lifted the orb, feeling its gentle warmth. The moment she touched it, the entire garden seemed to come alive with an even more vibrant glow, and the flowers' light grew brighter and more vivid. Luna appeared beside her, a look of satisfaction on her face. "You have found the heart of the moon. Its magic will bring peace and balance to the world, and its protection will ensure the garden's beauty for generations to come." Ivy returned to the village with the heart of the moon, and the garden's magic was shared with all of Starbrook. The village thrived under the garden's enchantment, and the moonlit blooms became even more radiant and enchanting. The legend of Ivy's bravery and the Heart of the Moon became a cherished tale in Starbrook, inspiring others to seek out their own adventures with courage and an open heart. And so, under the light of the moon, Starbrook flourished, its beauty and magic lasting for many generations to come. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in the heart of the enchanted forest, there was a small village called Lumina. This village was famous for its breathtaking night skies, which sparkled with stars as if sprinkled with fairy dust. The villagers believed that the stars held magical powers and that each star was a guardian spirit watching over them. In Lumina lived a kind young girl named Alara, who loved stargazing more than anything. She had a special pendant, a silver locket with a single star-shaped gem, that had been passed down from her grandmother. It was said that the pendant had once shone as brightly as the stars themselves, but over time, it had lost its luster and had become a mere keepsake. One night, as Alara gazed up at the twinkling sky, she noticed something troubling. The stars seemed dimmer, and a strange shadow covered the village. The villagers were worried, for the fading stars seemed to be losing their magic, leaving the village feeling cold and dark. Determined to restore the stars' brilliance, Alara decided to seek help from the legendary Moon Sage, who was said to reside in a hidden glade deep within the enchanted forest. With her pendant around her neck and a heart full of hope, Alara set off on her quest. The enchanted forest was a place of wonder and mystery, with trees that whispered secrets and streams that sang gentle lullabies. As Alara ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered 3 magical creatures who each offered her a piece of wisdom. The first was a wise old owl perched on an ancient tree. The owl hooted softly and said, "To find the moon sage, you must first find the rainbow falls. Follow the path of the moonlight and the colors of the rainbow." Elara thanked the owl and continued her journey, guided by the moonlight that filtered through the trees. After some time, she reached the Rainbow Falls, a spectacular waterfall cascading in hues of every color imaginable. She carefully followed the shimmering path created by the moonlight reflecting off the water. At the base of the falls, she encountered a gentle deer with antlers adorned with flowers. The deer spoke in a soft voice, "To meet the moon sage, you must cross the Bridge of Echoes. But beware, the echoes will test your heart." Elara saw the Bridge of Echoes, a delicate wooden bridge that spanned a misty ravine. As she crossed, soft whispers and echoes surrounded her, each voice filled with doubt and fear. Remembering her mission and her love for the stars, Elara focused on her determination and courage. She crossed the bridge, ignoring the echoes, and emerged on the other side. Finally, Elara arrived at the Moon Sage's glade, a serene, moonlit clearing surrounded by flowers that glowed with a soft, silvery light. In the center of the glade sat the Moon Sage, an elegant figure with a flowing robe that sparkled like the night sky. The Moon Sage greeted Elara with a warm smile. "I have been expecting you. The stars have indeed lost their light because the starlight pendant has lost its magic. To restore the stars, you must rekindle the pendant's light." The Moon Sage took the pendant and examined it closely. "This pendant was once a powerful conduit of starlight," she explained. "It needs to be recharged with the essence of true magic." The Moon Sage led Elara to a small, crystal-clear pool in the glade. At its center floated a luminous orb of stardust, shimmering with the pure light of the stars. The sage instructed Elara to hold the pendant above the pool and make a heartfelt wish. Elara closed her eyes and thought of the stars, their beauty, and their importance to her village. She wished for their light to return and for the pendant to shine once more. As she opened her eyes, the pendant began to glow with a brilliant, radiant light, brighter than ever before. The Moon Sage smiled and said, "Your pure heart and selfless wish have restored the pendant's magic. The stars will now shine brightly once more." With the pendant glowing brightly around her neck, Elara returned to Lumina. As she approached the village, she saw the stars returning to their full brilliance, filling the night sky with their twinkling light. The village was bathed in a warm, comforting glow, and the darkness had vanished. The villagers rejoiced and celebrated Elara's bravery and determination. The stars, now brighter than ever, seemed to dance across the sky, filling everyone's hearts with joy and wonder. Elara learned that the true magic of the stars was not just in their light, but in the love and hope that bound them to the hearts of those who cared for them. The starlight pendant remained a symbol of this magic, a reminder of the courage and selflessness that restored the light of the stars. And so, under the enchanting glow of the starlit sky, Lumina thrived, forever blessed by the magic of a brave young girl and the twinkling light of the stars. In the radiant shimmer of the stars, the village of Lumina discovered that the most profound magic of all was the light that shines from within and the love that brings light to others. In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and ancient forests, there lived a kind-hearted lantern keeper named Oliver. Every evening, Oliver would walk through the village, lighting the lanterns that lined the cobblestone streets. The lanterns were not ordinary, they were enchanted to glow with a soft, warm light that guided villagers safely through the night. Oliver took great pride in his work, for he knew that the lanterns held a special magic. One crisp autumn evening, as Oliver prepared to light the lanterns, he noticed a peculiar one that had been dim for weeks. It was a lantern of silver, with intricate patterns of stars and moons etched into its surface. Despite his efforts, its light remained weak and flickering. Concerned, Oliver decided to seek the wisdom of the village elder, a wise woman named Elda. Elda listened to Oliver's concerns and studied the lantern closely. "This lantern is special," she said, her eyes twinkling with ancient knowledge. "It is a key to the starlit path. A magical trail that appears only once every 100 years. The path leads to the heart of the stars, a place of great power and wonder. To reignite the lantern's magic, you must embark on a quest to find the heart. Determined to restore the lantern's glow and discover the starlit path, Oliver set off into the forest with a small pack of supplies. Guided by the soft light of the remaining lanterns, he ventured deeper into the woods until he reached a clearing where the air shimmered with stardust. In the center of the clearing stood an old stone archway covered in glowing ivy. The archway seemed to pulse with a gentle, rhythmic glow. Oliver approached and saw that the silver lantern fit perfectly into a notch at the base of the arch. With a deep breath, he placed the lantern into the notch. As he did, the archway lit up with a brilliant, starlit light, and a path of shimmering stars appeared before him. The path was illuminated with constellations that sparkled like diamonds, winding through the forest and leading towards a distant, glowing mountain. Trial 1: The Whispering Wind. The first part of the starlit path led Oliver to a meadow where a soft, whispering wind swirled around him. The wind carried a riddle that Oliver needed to solve to proceed. I dance without legs, I sing without a voice, I can be gentle or fierce, and I have no choice. What am I? Oliver thought carefully and realized the answer was the wind. As he spoke the answer aloud, the whispering wind calmed and formed a gentle breeze that guided him to the next part of the path. Trial 2: The Crystal Cavern. The second trial took Oliver to a cavern filled with sparkling crystals that reflected the starlight. The cavern was beautiful but also a bit confusing, with many paths and glittering tunnels. To continue, Oliver needed to find the right path that led to the next trial. In the center of the cavern, Oliver found a small, glowing crystal with an inscription that read, "Follow the light of the heart to find your way." He took out the silver lantern, which now glowed softly with starlight. Holding it high, he followed the lantern's light, which led him through the correct tunnel and out of the cavern. Trial 3: The Guardian of the Heart. The final trial brought Oliver to the base of the glowing mountain, where he met the Guardian of the Heart, a majestic creature with wings made of starlight and eyes that shone like the night sky. The Guardian spoke in a voice that echoed like the chimes of distant bells. To reach the heart of the stars, you must prove your worth by showing your purest intention. Why do you seek the heart? Oliver took a moment to think. I seek the heart of the stars to restore the magic of the lantern and bring light and guidance to my village. I wish to help others and share the beauty of this magic. The Guardian nodded, satisfied with Oliver's selfless answer. Your heart is true. The heart of the stars is yours to behold. With that, the Guardian led Oliver to the summit of the mountain. There, nestled among a bed of glowing flowers, was the heart of the stars, a radiant, pulsating gem that filled the air with a warm, soothing light. Oliver carefully took the heart and returned to the village, following the starlit path back to the clearing. He placed the heart into the silver lantern, and the lantern burst forth with a brilliant, magical glow. The light was now more vibrant and warm than ever before. Returning to his village, Oliver saw that the lanterns were now brighter, casting a golden light that filled the village with warmth and joy. The villagers gathered around, marveling at the renewed glow of their lanterns. Oliver shared his adventure in the story of the starlit path, and the villagers celebrated the magic that had been restored. And so, the tale of Oliver and the starlit path became a cherished story in the village, a reminder of the power of selflessness and the magic that lies in the heart of those who seek to share their light with others. The lanterns continued to shine brightly, guiding the villagers safely through the night and reminding them of the wondrous adventure that brought their world back to life. From that day on, every time the village lanterns glowed, they sparkled with the magic of the heart of the stars, and the legend of the starlit path was passed down through generations, inspiring countless others to follow their own paths of light and wonder. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the mountains and across the shimmering seas, there was a kingdom where dreams were forgotten. The kingdom of Somnolus had once been a place of joy and imagination, where dreams flourished like flowers in a meadow. But a dark enchantment had fallen over the land, and the people could no longer remember their dreams upon waking. Without their dreams, the kingdom grew dull and lifeless, and the once vibrant colors of the world faded into shades of gray. In this kingdom lived a young girl named Alara, who had always been curious about the stories of the past, stories of dreams so vivid they could paint the skies with their colors. Elara was different from the others. She felt a deep longing to remember her dreams, to hold on to the magic that had once filled the land. One night, as Elara lay in bed, a soft, golden light appeared by her window. It was a tiny, winged creature, no larger than a hummingbird, with wings that shimmered like the stars. I am Lumina. The Dreamkeeper, the creature said in a voice as soft as a whisper. I protect the dreams that have been forgotten, but the dark enchantment has bound them in a place far from here. If you are brave enough, you can journey to the Valley of Shadows and retrieve the dreams of Somnolus. Elara's heart fluttered with excitement and fear. She knew this was her chance to restore the dreams to her kingdom. Without hesitation, she agreed to embark on the quest. Lumina guided her to the edge of the kingdom, where a thick fog obscured the entrance to the Valley of Shadows. Be cautious, Elara, Lumina warned. The valley is guarded by creatures of despair who thrive on lost hopes. But remember, the light within you is stronger than any shadow. With Lumina by her side, Elara stepped into the fog. The air was cold, and the shadows seemed to whisper as she walked deeper into the valley. The path was treacherous, with thorns and twisted roots that seemed to reach out and grab her. But Elara pressed on, her determination unwavering. At the heart of the valley, she found a dark and towering tree, its branches twisted and barren. Hanging from its branches were countless crystal orbs, each one containing a forgotten dream, flickering weakly as if on the brink of extinction. Elara approached the tree, but as she reached out to touch one of the orbs, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was the Enchantress of Shadows, the one who had cast the spell over Somnolus. You dare to enter my realm? The Enchantress hissed, her eyes glowing with malice. These dreams belong to me now. Without them, your kingdom will remain as it is, empty and forgotten. Elara stood her ground, clutching Lumina tightly. These dreams belong to the people of Somnolus, she said boldly. They are the light that brings life to our world. I will not let you keep them. The Enchantress laughed, a cold and hollow sound that echoed through the valley. You are but a child. What power do you have against the darkness? With that, the Enchantress summoned the creatures of despair, shadowy beings that slithered and crawled, their eyes glowing with a hungry light. They advanced on Elara, their presence filling her with a deep, gnawing fear. But Lumina, the Dreamkeeper, whispered in Elara's ear, remember the light within you, Elara. It is stronger than any shadow. Closing her eyes, Elara took a deep breath and focused on the warmth within her heart, the light of hope, the desire to bring joy back to her people. She opened her eyes, and to her astonishment, a soft, golden glow began to emanate from her chest, growing brighter and brighter until it enveloped her completely. The creatures of despair recoiled from the light, hissing and retreating into the darkness. The Enchantress, shocked by the power of Elara's light, tried to shield herself, but the light was too strong. It broke the spell that bound the dreams, and one by one, the crystal orbs began to glow brightly, their light filling the valley. The Enchantress, weakened by the loss of her power, vanished into the shadows with a final, defeated cry. The twisted tree, now bathed in light, released the crystal orbs, and they floated gently down into Elara's hands. You have done it, Elara, Lumina said, her voice filled with pride. The dreams are free, and the enchantment is broken. You have restored the light to Somnolus. With the crystal orbs safely in her hands, Elara made her way back to the kingdom. As she returned, the fog lifted, and the grayness that had consumed the land began to dissolve. The people of Somnolus awoke to a world filled with color and life once more. Flowers bloomed, birds sang, and the sun shone brightly in the sky. That night, as the people of Somnolus slept, they dreamed for the first time in generations. Their dreams were vivid and filled with joy, painting the skies with colors that had long been forgotten. Ilara's bravery and the light within her had restored the magic to their world. Ilara was hailed as a hero, and the tale of her journey became a legend passed down through the ages. The kingdom of Somnolus flourished, its people forever grateful to the girl who had the courage to venture into the Valley of Shadows and bring back the forgotten dreams. And so, the kingdom thrived, a place where dreams were cherished and the light of hope never dimmed. In a faraway land, nestled between towering mountains and serene lakes, lay the village of Everwood. Everwood was known for its lush meadows, vibrant markets, and the heartwarming tales of magic that had been passed down through generations. But the most enchanting story of all was about the mystical locket that could grant a single, heartfelt wish. The locket had been lost for many years, and the villagers believed it was only a legend. Yet, the story lived on in their hearts, especially for a young girl named Ilara. Ilara was kind and adventurous, known for her generous spirit and her unyielding hope. She lived with her grandmother, who had shared the tale of the locket with her since she was little. One crisp autumn morning, Ilara's peaceful life was interrupted by troubling news. The village's beautiful river, which provided water for the crops and kept the land fertile, had begun to dry up. Without it, the villagers faced a harsh winter and poor harvests. The elders gathered and spoke of an ancient prophecy that suggested the return of the enchanted locket might be the key to saving their land. Ilara's heart leapt with both hope and determination. She decided she would find the locket to restore the river and help her village. With a small bag of supplies and her grandmother's old compass, she set out on her journey. The path to finding the locket was said to be fraught with challenges and magical creatures. As Ilara ventured into the Whispering Woods, where the trees murmured secrets and songs, she encountered her first test. A mischievous sprite named Puck appeared, fluttering about and playing tricks. Puck blocked Ilara's path with a playful grin. "To proceed, you must answer my riddle," he said. Ilara, though nervous, nodded in agreement. Puck asked, "What can travel around the world while staying in a corner?" Ilara thought for a moment and then answered, "A stamp." Puck clapped his tiny hands and laughed. "Well done. You may pass." With Puck's blessing, Ilara continued her journey. As she made her way through the forest, she discovered an ancient stone archway covered in glowing runes. The runes seemed to pulse with a soft light, and Ilara sensed they were guiding her. Following the runes, Ilara arrived at a moonlit glade where a majestic unicorn was drinking from a crystal-clear spring. The unicorn looked up and spoke in a gentle voice, "To find the enchanted locket, you must show true bravery and kindness. Only then will the path be revealed." Ilara, moved by the unicorn's words, offered her last piece of bread to the unicorn. "I faced many challenges, but this is a small token of my gratitude for your guidance." The unicorn's eyes sparkled with approval, and it stepped aside to reveal a hidden path behind the spring. Ilara followed the path until she reached a mysterious, ancient cave. Inside the cave was a labyrinth of twisting passages and glowing, enchanted walls. At the heart of the labyrinth, Ilara found a pedestal with a velvet cushion upon it. The enchanted locket lay atop the cushion, its surface shimmering with a soft, magical light. Ilara's heart raced with excitement as she carefully lifted the locket. Just then, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness, a sorceress named Morgana, who had been searching for the locket to use its magic for her own gain. Morgana's eyes glinted with greed as she approached Ilara. "I see you found the locket," Morgana sneered. "Hand it over, and I might spare you." Ilara, though frightened, stood her ground. "This locket belongs to the people of Everwood. I won't let you use it for your own selfish purposes." Morgana tried to seize the locket with a wave of her hand, but Ilara, guided by her bravery and the strength of her heart, held on tightly. As they struggled, the locket began to glow brighter, reacting to the purity of Ilara's intentions. The glow grew so intense that it surrounded Ilara and Morgana, creating a protective barrier. Morgana, overwhelmed by the light, was forced to retreat. With a final glare, she vanished into the shadows, leaving the locket and Ilara unharmed. Ilara took a deep breath and clasped the locket. She closed her eyes and made a heartfelt wish for the river to flow again and for her village to be saved. The locket responded with a brilliant burst of light, and Alara felt a warm, reassuring presence envelop her. When she returned to Everwood, the river had begun to flow again, its waters sparkling and fresh. The village erupted in joy, celebrating Alara's bravery and the return of their precious river. The crops thrived, and the people were filled with renewed hope and gratitude. Alara's grandmother embraced her, tears of pride in her eyes. "You have restored not just the river but the spirit of our village. You've made our story come alive." From that day forward, the legend of the enchanted locket became a cherished tale in Everwood, and Alara's courage and kindness were celebrated by all. The locket was returned to its rightful place in the village's care, a symbol of the magic that lived within their hearts. And so, in the land of Everwood, where the river sparkled and the crops flourished, the people lived happily ever after, always remembering the tale of the brave girl who saved their home with a wish and a pure heart. The end. The kingdom of the Whispering Winds. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a kingdom known as Etheria. This kingdom was unlike any other, for it floated high above the clouds, suspended in the sky by the magic of the Whispering Winds. The Whispering Winds were not ordinary breezes, they were sentient, speaking in soft tones and carrying messages across the land. The people of Etheria lived in harmony with these winds, relying on their guidance and protection. In this kingdom lived a young prince named Zephyr. Zephyr was known for his adventurous spirit and his deep connection with the Whispering Winds. He could often be found at the highest point of the kingdom, listening to the winds as they shared tales of distant lands and ancient secrets. Though he loved his home, Zephyr longed to explore the world below the clouds, a place he had only heard of in stories. One day, while Zephyr was listening to the winds, they brought him troubling news. "The winds that hold Etheria in the sky are weakening," they whispered. "A dark force is trying to break the bond between the kingdom and the winds. If nothing is done, Etheria will fall." Alarmed, Zephyr knew he had to act quickly. He went to his father, King Aeolus, and told him what the winds had said. The king, a wise and just ruler, understood the gravity of the situation. "We must protect our kingdom, my son," King Aeolus said. "But to do so, we need the Crystal of Gale, an ancient artifact that has the power to strengthen the Whispering Winds. It is hidden in the Cave of Echoes, far below, on the earth." Zephyr volunteered immediately. "I will go, father. I will find the Crystal of Gale and save our kingdom." The king, though worried, trusted his son's courage and wisdom. He gave Zephyr a small, enchanted amulet shaped like a feather. "This will protect you on your journey. Remember, the winds will always guide you." Zephyr set out on his quest, riding a swift cloud ship that descended from Etheria towards the earth below. The journey was perilous, with dark clouds and fierce storms trying to hinder his progress. But Zephyr kept the amulet close, and the Whispering Winds whispered encouragement in his ear, guiding him safely through the tempest. After days of travel, Zephyr reached the earth, a place that felt both strange and wondrous to him. He landed in a dense forest where the trees whispered in the breeze, their leaves shimmering like silver. Following the wind's guidance, Zephyr made his way to the Cave of Echoes. The entrance to the cave was hidden behind a waterfall, its waters sparkling in the sunlight. Zephyr took a deep breath and stepped through the waterfall, finding himself in a vast cavern where every sound echoed endlessly. The air was thick with magic, and Zephyr could feel the presence of the Crystal of Gale deep within the cave. As he ventured deeper, Zephyr encountered the cave's guardian, a giant eagle with feathers of pure gold and eyes that gleamed like amber. The eagle spread its wings, blocking Zephyr's path. "Who dares enter the Cave of Echoes?" the eagle demanded, its voice reverberating through the cavern. "I am Prince Zephyr of Etheria," Zephyr replied, standing tall. "I seek the Crystal of Gale to save my kingdom from falling." The eagle studied Zephyr for a moment before speaking. "The Crystal of Gale is powerful, but it can only be taken by one who is pure of heart and truly cares for their people. To prove your worth, you must answer this riddle. What can you hold in your right hand but not in your left?" Zephyr thought for a moment, then smiled and answered, "My left hand." The eagle nodded in approval, and with a mighty flap of its wings, it revealed a hidden chamber within the cave. In the center of the chamber, on a pedestal of stone, sat the crystal of Gale. The crystal was a brilliant blue, glowing with an inner light that pulsed gently like a heartbeat. Zephyr approached the crystal, and as he touched it, he felt a surge of energy and warmth. The whispering winds swirled around him, their voices full of joy. "You have found it, Zephyr. The crystal of Gale will save Etheria." With the crystal in hand, Zephyr hurried back to his cloud ship and ascended once more into the sky. The journey back was just as challenging, but Zephyr's determination and the crystal's power helped him overcome every obstacle. When he finally returned to Etheria, the kingdom was on the brink of collapse, teetering on the edge of the sky. Zephyr rushed to the highest point in the kingdom, where a great stone circle known as the Circle of Wind stood. Placing the crystal of Gale in the center of the circle, Zephyr watched as the crystal began to glow brighter and brighter. The whispering winds gathered around it, their strength restored. The winds lifted Etheria higher into the sky, stabilizing the kingdom and banishing the dark force that had threatened it. The people of Etheria rejoiced, and King Aeolus embraced his son, proud of his bravery and love for his home. From that day on, the Crystal of Gale was kept in the Circle of Winds, a symbol of the bond between the kingdom and the Whispering Winds. Prince Zephyr continued to explore the skies, always listening to the winds and protecting his kingdom. And so, Etheria flourished, floating high above the clouds, forever safe in the embrace of the Whispering Winds. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a realm where magic danced on the edge of reality, there was a kingdom known as Luminera, bathed in the gentle glow of moonlight. This kingdom was unique, as its land was always illuminated by the soft, silvery light of the moon, even during the day. The moonlight made the flora and fauna glow with a soft, ethereal light, creating a breathtaking landscape of shimmering beauty. At the heart of Luminera stood the Moon Palace, a magnificent castle built from moonstone that sparkled like a constellation. The palace was ruled by Queen Seraphina, a wise and benevolent leader who had the power to harness the moon's magic for the good of her people. Her most cherished possession was a moon crystal, a radiant gem that amplified her magical abilities and kept the kingdom in harmony. Despite the kingdom's beauty and tranquility, there was one challenge that loomed over Luminera. The moonlight, though constant, was beginning to dim, causing concern among the inhabitants. The once bright landscapes were growing shadowed, and the magic that had always been vibrant seemed to be fading. Queen Seraphina knew that something was wrong but could not discover the source of the problem. One evening, as the queen gazed out from her moonlit balcony, a soft, mysterious voice spoke to her. "Seek the moonflower in the forbidden forest, and the truth shall be revealed." Intrigued and determined to save her kingdom, Queen Seraphina decided to embark on a quest to find this moonflower. She prepared a small satchel with essentials, including her moon crystal, and set off under the light of the full moon. The Forbidden Forest was a place of great enchantment and mystery. It was said to be filled with magical creatures and hidden secrets. As Queen Seraphina ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered various wonders and challenges. The first was the Enchanted River, a stream with water as clear as crystal but with currents that could sweep anyone off course. The queen approached the river with care. She used her moon crystal to cast a protective spell that allowed her to safely navigate across. As she crossed, she noticed that the water sparkled with a pale light, guiding her way. Further into the forest, she reached the Whispering Glade, where the trees spoke in hushed tones, sharing ancient wisdom. The whispers were fragmented and confusing, but Seraphina listened closely. She realized that the whispers spoke of a hidden path leading to the moonflower but required a test of purity and intention to reveal it. Determined, Queen Seraphina knelt and closed her eyes, focusing on her love for her kingdom and her desire to restore its magic. The forest seemed to acknowledge her sincerity, and the path to the moonflower began to glow softly, revealing itself through the dense foliage. At last, Seraphina arrived at a clearing bathed in the purest moonlight she had ever seen. In the center of the clearing stood the moonflower, a magnificent blossom with petals that shimmered like liquid silver. It was unlike anything she had ever seen, radiating a gentle, soothing light. As she approached, the Moonflower spoke in a melodious voice. "I am the Moonflower, guardian of the moon's magic. The dimming of the moonlight is a sign that the balance of magic in the realm has been disturbed. To restore the balance, you must find the Moonshadow, a creature who has taken the essence of moonlight for itself." The Moonflower's petals opened to reveal a map etched in silver light, showing the location of the Moonshadow's lair. Queen Seraphina thanked the Moonflower and followed the map, her heart filled with hope and determination. The journey led her to a hidden cave, where the Moonshadow, a creature of darkness and deceit, had taken refuge. It was a shadowy figure, its form shifting like smoke. The Moonshadow had been siphoning the moon's light to increase its own power, causing the kingdom's magic to wane. Queen Seraphina confronted the Moonshadow with courage. She held up her moon crystal, channeling the moon's energy into a brilliant beam of light. "You must return the stolen moonlight to restore the balance," she declared. The Moonshadow, though powerful, was overwhelmed by the purity of the moon crystal's light. The creature was forced to release the captured moonlight, which flowed back into the kingdom's skies. The balance of magic was slowly restored, and the moonlight grew bright and steady once more. With the Moonshadow defeated and the magic of Luminera restored, Queen Seraphina returned to her palace. The kingdom celebrated her bravery and the return of their beloved moonlight. The moon crystal, now even more radiant, was placed in its rightful place, ensuring the continued harmony and prosperity of Luminera. The tale of Queen Seraphina's quest became a cherished legend in Luminera, a story passed down through generations as a reminder of the power of courage, purity of heart, and the importance of protecting the delicate balance of magic. And so, under the eternal moonlight, the kingdom of Luminera thrived in peace and beauty, forever illuminated by the soft, enchanting glow that had once again graced their land. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled high in the mountains, there lived a young princess named Elara. Unlike other princesses, Elara was not content with a life of luxury and grand banquets. She was curious, adventurous, and had a heart full of wonder. Her favorite time of day was dusk when the first stars began to twinkle in the evening sky. She loved to sit by her window, watching as the stars slowly filled the sky, dreaming of what lay beyond the mountains. One evening, as Elara gazed at the stars, she noticed something unusual. One star, larger and brighter than the others, seemed to be flickering in and out of sight. Intrigued, she leaned closer, and to her amazement, she saw a shimmering path of light leading from her window to the star. It was as if the star was calling to her, inviting her to follow. Without hesitation, Elara grabbed her cloak and slipped out of the castle. She followed the starlit path, which wound through the forest, across rivers, and up the steep slopes of the mountains. The path was narrow and treacherous, but Elara's curiosity and determination kept her moving forward. The further she went, the more the path seemed to glow, guiding her through the darkness. After hours of walking, Elara found herself standing at the edge of a vast, glistening lake. The water was so clear that it reflected the stars perfectly, making it seem as if the sky had fallen to earth. In the center of the lake was a small island, and on that island stood a grand tree with silver leaves that sparkled like diamonds. The large, flickering star was perched on one of its branches. Elara knew she had to reach the island, but there was no boat in sight. As she pondered how to cross the lake, a soft voice echoed in her mind, "Believe in the path, and it will guide you." Taking a deep breath, Elara stepped onto the water. To her astonishment, the water supported her weight, and a path of light appeared beneath her feet. She walked carefully across the lake, the starlit path guiding her to the island. As she reached the shore, she felt a sense of calm wash over her, as if she had entered a place of pure magic. The tree on the island was more magnificent up close, its branches stretching high into the sky. Elara approached the tree, and as she did, the star descended from its branch, hovering just above her head. "Princess Elara," the star spoke, its voice soft and melodic, "you have been chosen for a great task. There is a land far beyond these mountains that has fallen into darkness. The people there have lost their way and forgotten the beauty of the night sky. Only a heart as pure as yours can bring back the light." Elara listened intently as the star continued, I will guide you to this land, but the journey will not be easy. You must find 3 lost stars that have been captured by the shadows. Only by restoring these stars to the sky can you save the land from eternal darkness." Without a moment's hesitation, Elara agreed to the task. The star then transformed into a small, glowing pendant and hung around her neck. "This pendant will light your way and protect you from the shadows," the star said. "Now, follow the path once more." As Elara set out on her journey, the starlit path reappeared, leading her away from the island and into the unknown. She traveled for days, through dense forests, over rocky cliffs, and across barren deserts. Along the way, she encountered creatures of the night, owls, foxes, and even a wise old wolf, all of whom offered their help and guidance. Finally, Elara reached the edge of a dark, desolate land where the sky was covered in thick clouds, blocking out all light. The air was heavy with sorrow, and the ground was cold and barren. This was the land the star had spoken of, a place where hope had been lost. Elara knew the first lost star was near, so she pressed on, her pendant glowing brighter with each step. She followed the light to a deep, shadowy cave. Inside the cave, the walls were lined with sharp rocks, and the air was filled with an eerie silence. At the far end of the cave, Elara saw a faint glimmer of light, the first lost star, trapped in a crystal cage. With determination, Elara approached the cage. As she reached out to touch it, the shadows in the cave came to life, swirling around her and whispering dark thoughts in her ear. But Elara's heart was strong, and she focused on the light of the pendant, which grew brighter and brighter until it drove the shadows away. The crystal cage shattered, and the first star was free. It rose into the air, shining brightly before shooting up into the sky. One by one, the clouds began to part, and the sky grew a little lighter. Elara continued her journey, finding the second star in a twisted forest and the third in the depths of a frozen lake. Each time, the shadows tried to stop her, but each time, her courage and the light of the pendant saw her through. With all 3 stars restored to the sky, the land began to heal. The sky cleared, and the stars shone brightly once more. The people of the land, who had lived in darkness for so long, emerged from their homes, filled with wonder at the sight of the night sky. Elara returned to the starlit lake, where the tree with silver leaves stood waiting for her. The pendant around her neck glowed one last time before transforming back into the star. It rose into the sky, taking its place among the others. "Thank you, Princess Elara," the star's voice echoed from above. "Because of your bravery, the light has returned to this land. You have done a great deed, and the stars will always remember you." Elara smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. The starlit path appeared once more, leading her back home to her kingdom. When she returned, she was greeted as a hero, and the tale of her journey was told far and wide. From that day on, whenever Elara looked at the night sky, she knew that she was never truly alone. The stars were her friends, and they would guide her wherever her heart desired. And so, Princess Elara lived a life full of adventure, always following the starlit path, knowing that it would lead her to new wonders and new dreams. Once upon a time, in a tranquil kingdom surrounded by lush forests and sparkling rivers, there was a magical realm known for its beautiful birds. Among them was the rare silver feather, a mythical bird said to possess extraordinary powers and grant one heartfelt wish to anyone who could find it. In a small village at the edge of the kingdom, there lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was kind and brave, always helping her neighbors with their troubles. Her family was poor, but they were rich in love and kindness. Elara's greatest wish was to improve the lives of those around her and bring prosperity to her struggling village. One day, a severe winter hit the kingdom, bringing with it an unusually harsh frost. The crops failed, and the villagers were growing anxious. Remembering the legend of the silver feather, Elara decided to set out on a quest to find the mythical bird and make a wish that could save her village. The quest begins early one morning. Elara prepared for her journey. She packed a small bag with essentials, a warm cloak, some bread, and a flask of water. Her mother gave her a silver locket for good luck, a family heirloom that had been passed down through generations. With a hopeful heart, Elara ventured into the forest, guided by the tales of the silver feather. As she walked deeper into the forest, Elara came across a wise old tortoise named Thaddeus, who was known for his knowledge of the enchanted woods. Thaddeus was resting on a moss-covered rock, basking in the weak winter sunlight. "Good day, Thaddeus," Elara greeted him respectfully. "I'm on a quest to find the silver feather. Can you help me?" Thaddeus looked at Elara with wise, kind eyes. "The silver feather is a difficult treasure to find," he said. "It is said to dwell in the heart of the Whispering Glade. But first, you must overcome 3 trials that test the purity of your heart." The first trial, the frosted lake. Elara followed Thaddeus's directions to a frozen lake surrounded by tall, snow-covered trees. The ice was thick and treacherous, and Elara had to cross it to continue her quest. As she stepped onto the ice, it began to crack and groan. In the middle of the lake, she spotted a riddle carved into the ice. "I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Elara thought carefully and then answered aloud, "Fire." With her answer, the ice beneath her feet stopped cracking, and a narrow path appeared, leading her safely to the other side. The first trial was complete. The second trial, the enchanted grove. Elara soon arrived at a grove filled with glowing, magical flowers. The grove was beautiful but bewildering. The flowers seemed to hum and dance in the cold wind, creating a maze of shimmering petals. A sign in the center of the grove read, "To pass through, you must find the path of light. Follow the song that leads to the heart." Elara listened closely to the harmonious melody of the flowers and followed the softest, most enchanting tune. As she walked, the flowers seemed to part, guiding her through the maze until she reached the center of the grove. There, a small, sparkling key lay on a pedestal. The third trial, the guardian of the Whispering Glade. Elara continued her journey and finally reached the Whispering Glade, a serene, mystical place with tall trees that seemed to whisper secrets. In the center of the glade stood a majestic, ancient tree with a face carved into its trunk. The tree was the guardian of the glade. "Welcome, Elara," the guardian spoke in a deep, gentle voice. "You have completed the trials, but now you must show that your wish is truly selfless." Elara approached the guardian and spoke from her heart. "My wish is not for myself but for my village. I want to bring prosperity and warmth to those who are suffering from the harsh winter." The guardian listened intently and then nodded. "Your heart is pure, and your wish is selfless. The silver feather will grant your wish, but remember that true magic lies in the kindness you show others." The silver feather appears as the guardian spoke. A soft, shimmering light filled the glade. The silver feather appeared, its plumage sparkling like moonlight on fresh snow. The bird flew gracefully towards Elara, and she reached out, carefully taking the feather in her hand. The moment she held the silver feather, a warm, golden light enveloped the entire Whispering Glade. Elara felt a rush of joy and relief as the magic of the feather began to spread. Returned to the village. Elara hurried back to her village with the silver feather. When she arrived, she found that the feather's magic had already started to work. The snow began to melt, the crops revived, and a sense of warmth and renewal spread through the village. The villagers were overjoyed and amazed at the transformation. They celebrated Elara's bravery and kindness with a grand feast, and the once struggling village now thrived with abundance. Elara's family was immensely proud of her, and the village honored her as a true hero. The silver feather, having fulfilled its purpose, disappeared back into the magical forest, leaving behind a lasting legacy of hope and generosity. A lasting legacy. Years passed, and the story of Elara and the silver feather became a cherished tale told to children around the village. Elara continued to help others, her actions always guided by the selflessness that had brought the silver feather to her. The kingdom flourished, and the forest remained a place of magic and wonder. Elara's legacy was a reminder that the greatest treasures are found in the kindness and love we give to others. And so, the village lived in prosperity and harmony, and the legend of the silver feather lived on as a beacon of hope for all who heard it. The end. Once upon a time, in the magical kingdom of Luminera, there existed a wondrous crown known as the Starlit Crown. This crown, adorned with glimmering gemstones that shimmered like stars, was said to hold the power to illuminate the darkest corners of the world and bring light to those in need. The kingdom of Luminera was blessed with constant twilight, where the sky was always painted in hues of deep blue and soft lavender. The people of Luminera were kind-hearted and lived in harmony, their days filled with gentle light and the twinkling of countless stars. The crown was kept in the Grand Tower, guarded by the wise and just Queen Isabella. Queen Isabella's daughter, Princess Lyra, was a brave and adventurous young woman with a heart as radiant as the starlit crown itself. She loved exploring the kingdom and helping her people. One evening, as the sky deepened into twilight, a dark and ominous storm began to brew over Luminera. The storm was unlike any the kingdom had seen before. Thunder roared with a frightening intensity, and lightning crackled with a malevolent energy. As the storm raged, the light from the starlit crown grew dim and flickered, casting shadows over the kingdom. Concerned for her people, Queen Isabella called for Princess Lyra. "My dear, the starlit crown's light is fading, and I fear the storm is linked to a dark force trying to seize our crown. You must journey beyond the kingdom to find the source of this darkness and restore the crown's light." Princess Lyra accepted the challenge without hesitation. Armed with courage and determination, she set off on her quest. The storm raged on as she ventured into the unknown, guided only by the dim, flickering light of the crown. Lyra's journey took her to the Whispering Woods, a dense forest known for its enchanted creatures and hidden secrets. The woods were dark and foreboding, and Lyra had to navigate through thick fog and tangled branches. As she walked, she came across a wise old owl perched on a branch. "Brave princess," the owl hooted. "To find the source of the darkness, you must first solve the riddle of the Whispering Woods." Lyra listened intently as the owl recited the riddle. "I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I?" After thinking carefully, Lyra answered, "A map." The owl nodded in approval and revealed a hidden path leading deeper into the woods. Following the path, Lyra soon arrived at a mystical grove where a glowing pool of water lay at its center. The pool was surrounded by magical fireflies that danced in the air. From the pool emerged a beautiful water nymph named Seraphina. "To continue your quest, you must seek the Heartstone, hidden in the caves of twilight," Seraphina said. "But be warned, the path is treacherous, and you will face great challenges." Lyra thanked Seraphina and made her way to the caves of twilight, a labyrinthine network of caverns rumored to be guarded by ancient magic. The caves were dimly lit, with eerie shadows flickering on the walls. As Lyra ventured deeper, she encountered a series of obstacles, shifting walls, narrow passages, and deceptive illusions. In the heart of the cave, Lyra discovered the Heartstone, a brilliant gem pulsing with a faint, warm light. As she reached for the Heartstone, a shadowy figure appeared, a dark sorcerer who had been trying to seize the starlit crown's light for himself. "You cannot stop me," the sorcerer sneered. "With the Heartstone in my grasp, I will plunge Luminera into eternal darkness." Lyra stood her ground. "The light of Luminera belongs to the people, not to darkness. I will not let you succeed." A fierce battle ensued. Lyra's bravery and strength clashed with the sorcerer's dark magic. Despite the sorcerer's powerful spells, Lyra's courage and determination shone through. As the sorcerer's magic faltered, Lyra reached the Heartstone and, with a final burst of light, dispelled the sorcerer's dark influence. With the Heartstone in hand, Lyra made her way back to Luminera. The storm had subsided, and the kingdom was once again bathed in a soft, twilight glow. The starlit crown's light began to grow brighter as Lyra approached the Grand Tower. Placing the Heartstone beside the crown, Lyra felt a surge of warmth and brilliance. The crown's light intensified, filling the kingdom with a radiant glow. The people of Luminera rejoiced as their home was restored to its former beauty. Queen Isabella embraced her daughter with pride. "You have saved our kingdom and restored the light. Your bravery and selflessness are a beacon for us all." The tale of Princess Lyra's courageous quest became a beloved legend in Luminera. The kingdom flourished under the starlit crown's brilliant light, and the people celebrated their hero who had protected their home from darkness. Lyra's story was passed down through generations, a reminder that true light comes from the heart and that even the darkest storm can be overcome with bravery and love. Once upon a time, in a land where the sky was always adorned with 1,000 twinkling stars, there was a magical forest known as the Enchanted Grove. This forest was renowned for its beauty and wonder, with trees that shimmered like silver and flowers that sang sweet melodies. At the heart of the forest grew a rare and mystical flower called the starflower. It was said that the starflower held the power to grant one wish to anyone who found it. The Enchanted Grove was home to a kind and wise old woman named Elara, who lived in a cozy cottage on the edge of the forest. Elara was known for her healing abilities and her deep connection with the magic of the forest. Every evening, she would walk among the trees, talking to them and tending to the plants. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a great shadow fell over the Enchanted Grove. A powerful sorcerer named Mulvadere, who coveted the starflower's magic, cast a dark spell that began to drain the forest of its vibrant colors and life. The once glowing trees and singing flowers grew dull and silent. The Enchanted Grove was slowly being enveloped by an ominous darkness. Elara knew that if the starflower's magic was not restored, the entire forest would be lost. She decided to seek out the starflower and use its power to save the forest. But finding the starflower was no easy task. It was hidden deep within the forest, protected by ancient enchantments. Before setting off, Elara sought the counsel of her old friend, a wise owl named Oliver. Oliver was known for his vast knowledge and his ability to see things others could not. Elara, Oliver hooted softly, to find the starflower, you must follow the path of light that leads to the moonlit glade. There, you will find clues that will guide you to the starflower's location. But beware, for the path is fraught with challenges and illusions. With Oliver's guidance, Elara embarked on her journey. She followed the path of light, which was faint and flickering due to the encroaching darkness. As she ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered her first challenge, a wide river with a rickety bridge that was almost completely obscured by the shadowy mist. Elara carefully made her way across the bridge, using her staff to steady herself. As she reached the other side, she noticed a series of glowing symbols etched into the trees. The symbols seemed to point the way towards the moonlit glade. As she continued her journey, Elara entered a serene, moonlit meadow. The light of the moon illuminated the area, and she saw a beautiful, shimmering pool at the center of the meadow. The pool reflected the light of the stars, creating a mesmerizing dance of light and shadow. At the edge of the pool, Elara found a mysterious stone pedestal with an ancient inscription. The inscription read, "In the heart of the forest, where the moonlight gleams, seek the starflower, where magic dreams. Follow the path of dreams so bright, and the starflower's light will guide you through the night." Elara understood that the inscription was a riddle, and she needed to follow the path of dreams. She looked around the meadow and noticed a trail of glowing petals leading into the forest. These petals seemed to shimmer with the light of the stars. Following the trail, Elara found herself in a mystical grove filled with mist and shimmering lights. The air was filled with soft, haunting music. At the center of the grove stood a majestic, ancient tree with branches that seemed to reach out to the stars. As Elara approached the tree, she saw a beautiful, luminescent flower growing at its base. The flower's petals glowed with the light of the stars, and its heart was a brilliant, shimmering gem. Elara realized that this was the starflower she had been searching for. But as she reached out to touch the starflower, a dark, shadowy figure emerged from the mist. It was Mulvadere, the sorcerer who had cast the spell over the Enchanted Grove. His eyes were cold and his voice echoed with malice. "You think you can take the starflower from me?" Mulvadere sneered. "Its power is mine to control, and you are too late to stop me." Elara stood her ground, her heart filled with determination. The starflower's magic belongs to the forest and its people. I will not let you use it for your own dark purposes. Mulvadere unleashed a wave of dark magic, but Elara, drawing strength from the starflower's light, countered his attacks with her own magic. The battle was fierce, But Alara's bravery and the starflower's radiant glow gradually weakened Mulvadere's dark magic. As the light of the starflower grew stronger, Mulvadere's shadowy form began to dissipate. With a final burst of light, Alara banished the sorcerer from the grove. The dark clouds that had shrouded the enchanted grove began to lift, and the vibrant colors and melodies of the forest returned. Alara carefully picked the starflower and held it high. Its light spread throughout the forest, restoring its magic and beauty. The trees regained their shimmer, the flowers bloomed with new vitality, and the river sparkled with renewed brilliance. The creatures of the enchanted grove gathered around Alara, their faces filled with gratitude and joy. Oliver, the wise owl, flew down to join them. "You have done it, Alara," Oliver hooted proudly. "You have saved the forest and restored its magic. The starflower's light will continue to shine as a beacon of hope and harmony." Alara smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. The enchanted grove thrived once more, its magic stronger than ever. She returned to her cottage, where she continued to care for the forest and its inhabitants with love and wisdom. And so, the tale of Alara and the starflower became a cherished legend in the enchanted grove, a story of bravery, magic, and the light that shines within every heart. And thus, the story of the starflower and the enchanted forest was told for generations, a reminder that even in the darkest times, the light of courage and kindness can restore the magic of the world.